Hello, my little ponies, and welcome back to A Little Lily Princess, where we had decided to end on this screen, where we need only 2 sympathy but 9 more belief. Which one was belief? The cross. So what gets us lots of cross? Writing in the diary. Can that get us sympathy as well? Yes! So should we just write in the diary 5 times?
Sure.
I think that's most likely to get us this, so let's do this. At least there's a 2 in 3 chance to at least get some. I feel like on average we should have gone 5, but 4 instead. So I don't remember any of the voices that I was doing before, so... Oh well.
Oh.
Sarah found
Yes.
Ermengarde in the main hall, wiping tears from her eyes.
What is it?
What?
Is something wrong?
Oh, Sarah. Do you remember the nest of eggs we saw on the tree a while ago?
Oh, did they hatch?
Yes, 2 weeks ago, but it's dreadful. What's dreadful? Tybalt, Miss Minchin's cat, he got out and climbed the tree and killed the babies. What?
Oh no.
They were too young to fly. They couldn't fly away. I don't know if he got them all, but...
Poor little thing.
Sarah's sorrow was more for Ermengarde's disappointment than for the birds. She had only ever seen them as eggs in a distant nest, never as living creatures, and expected them to fledge and be gone before her thoughts returned to them. But Ermengarde had spied the nest from her own window, had clearly returned to that window time and again to watch over them, had imagined for herself the companionship they might have shared as pets. Ermengarde had made the baby birds a part of her life without disturbing their freedom, and for her it was a true loss. It's not Tybalt's fault. What? It's not Tybalt's fault. He's just a cat. Cats bite sometimes. I didn't... She wiped her hand over her wet face. I didn't say I was angry at Tybalt.
People can be sad when bad things happen without having to blame anyone for them. Sometimes it isn't anyone's.
So, you won't hurt Tybalt? Of course not. Why would you think that I... Because I heard Cook say that if Tybalt got into the kitchen, ate her chicken again, she'd have him drowned. So, I thought you might think like that too. Ermengarde blinked at Lottie, too confused to be upset. She really said she'd drown him.
What? I'm sure she was joking?
Cook does have a temper.
Cook's not very nice to Becky.
Cook's not very nice to anyone.
We don't know that. You might have friends or family elsewhere. She's probably nice to them.
Sue didn't think it was right to condemn a woman she barely knew, even if everything she'd heard from Becky and Mariette was less than flattering. She's probably nice to Miss Minchin. Miss Minchin loves that cat, though. She'd be very angry if anything happened to him.
There, you see, Lottie? Cook wouldn't hurt Tybalt. No one's going to hurt him.
Sarah hugged Ermengarde close.
I'm sorry about your bird. Why don't you both come up to my room for a while?
And Sarah led her friends away, prepared to pamper them and distract them from their worries, like the perfect hostess. Alright, so... Well...
Okay, so obviously we're going for Becky. Though it is concerning just like 5 belief, and 10 belief needed for Jesse in 5 weeks. We need to really be grinding that belief.
Okay, so yeah, because we're not going for Lottie, Lavinia, or Ermengarde. We can't go for Lavinia or Ermengarde. We can't go for Mariette. So all that's really... Since we can't get Jesse for another 5 weeks, that leads us just to Becky. And then we gotta believe in ourselves.
I believe.
Do. Becky leaned back in the soft, comfortable chair and listened to Sarah spin a story for her. This tale involved a king who had 2 daughters but no sons, and who was under a terrible curse that only a hero who traveled the witch's road could lift. Each daughter swore to do her best to save her father, and thus they each outfitted themselves and went on their separate journeys.
The elder had hair of gold, and she wore bright silver armor, carried a thin-bladed sword with a hilt like a bell. The younger had hair of midnight, and wore a dress of soft flowing blue, carried no weapon other than her words and her kind.
Becky was so entranced by Sarah's voice that she forgot for minutes at a time to keep eating the slice of cake she had been handed.
The elder princess chose the fiercest horse in the royal stables and galloped along the witch's road at great speed until she came to a metal bridge over the river. When the horse's hooves pounded onto the metal, they made such a clang that the horse was startled, and the eldest daughter was flung from the saddle. The younger princess did not want to tire her favorite little pony by making him carry her, so she walked down the witch's road holding his rein. They went much more slowly, but at last they reached the bridge. The gentle pony didn't want to touch the metal bridge, but he trusted the youngest daughter, and she soothed and petted him. Together they crossed the river.
As Sarah's story continued, the kind younger daughter encountered a monster, which terrified her and required her bolder sister's approach to chase it away. Eventually, the 2 princesses learned to work together and progressed to the end of the road.
And there, inside the twisted brambles of the witch's hut, they found their father.
Was the curse broken?
I was cursed, he said, because I had no sons to rule after me. I built this road myself as a test. But now the 2 of you have learned your strength, and I know that we can rule together.
Oh! Becky folded her hands under her chin and let out a fond sigh. Could 2 princesses really rule a kingdom, miss?
I don't see why not. Our queen was a princess once.
Guess it's so. All of a sudden, she sat bolt upright in the chair. Blimey, the time! Sorry, miss.
It's all right. Suppose you ought to go.
Becky looked dolefully at the thick slice of cake still half uneaten that sat before her. Can I take it with me, miss? I get me pocket here, you see? Tied beneath Becky's apron was a stained old cloth pouch, the surviving half of a discarded pair of pockets from some lady's wardrobe. Sarah did not imagine that any cake held in such a pocket would be pleasant to eat afterwards, but scolded herself that it was not her decision to make.
Of course you can.
Thank you, miss. She happily tipped the plate into her pocket. I can eat this up later in the attic, miss. Gotta eat it careful, 'cause if I leave crumbs, the rats will come out to get 'em.
Rats? Are there rats there?
Lots of 'em, miss. They're mostly as rats and mice in attics. Wow, sounds like they could use a cat. You get used to the noise they make scuttling about. I've got to say I don't mind them so long as they don't run over my pillow.
Ugh!
You can get used to anything after a bit. You have to, miss, if you're born like I was. Rather have rats than roaches.
Oh, so would I. I think I might manage to make friends with a rat at a time, but I don't believe I should like to make friends with a cockroach.
Friends?
Well, they are creatures just like cats or dogs. Could be friendly. I think Becky needs that food more than the rats. But I wonder if the rats are hungry too. Perhaps if there are any crumbs in your pocket, take it out, somewhere away from your bed, so if the rats come out to eat, they won't bother you.
That's clever, miss. Perhaps I'll try it. Lavinia strode through the halls, Tybalt clasped to her bosom, crooning little songs to him, and paying no attention to any fur that might be shed onto her dress. She's been carrying that cat around all day. Gossiping about your betters, Ermengarde. You had better be careful. Bad little birds who squawk and squeal get gobbled up whole. Lavinia threw her head back and laughed. Tybalt stirred in her grasp, yowling faintly. Shush, shush, my prince. Yes, you are a good kitty. Shush. That's what cats do, you know. They eat the weak. The sound of her humming marked her passage as she moved out of sight. I think she set that cat on the birds on purpose.
I'm sure she wouldn't do that.
You heard what she said. She was laughing at me.
That doesn't mean that she... No, I won't believe it. She said what she said to taunt you, and that was very unkind of her, but she isn't a wicked person, not really. It'd be wrong to accuse her of something so dreadful.
You are too charitable. Lavinia is horrid. You know, you're always kind, but I'm glad that you are, but she doesn't deserve it.
It isn't so much about what she deserves. Kindness isn't something you should have to earn. A princess should always be kind, whether it's to a noble, or a peasant, or a witch. Sometimes being kind to a wicked witch is the only way to break her spell. Or to make a friend.
I wish Lavinia would be kinder to others.
So do I. So do we all.
Alright, well, I guess I have a thought.
Save scumming!
Yeah, that's basically it, yeah.
Alright, let's do it.
No.
Reload.
Okay, you know what? Fine. Reload. Okay, what if we save right here? Like, does it already randomize what all 5 are going to be before you, like, when you click done? Or does it check for the next one at each set? Like, if we load now...
So it's the 1, 1, 2, none. Let's try reloading and run through it again.
One, none.
Okay, so it is like actually random with each one. So. Okay, save. Yep. Nope.
Like, I don't want to make a habit of this, but all we need is 10 belief.
Yeah. And if we're able to, like, get ourselves a 10 of everything, like, then that just basically means whatever we spend is the only thing we need to worry about.
Yeah. Load. It, like, really doesn't want to keep giving us the same thing, huh? It's not like it's only giving us the same one thing over and over, it's just jumping between the two.
Yeah.
It's like, I wonder if it's programmed to try to give, like, a fair amount of all the different choices.
No. I think maybe what we do is we don't try to go for the full 10 in one go, but we still like reload if it does the bottom choice.
So this is giving us 6. Do we want to keep the 6 and say that 6 is good enough?
No. I think we should go for the result where we get at least one belief. Okay, so we save. Okay, save. Alright.
So 9.
Yeah, that's good.
Sarah, may I come in?
Of course.
This may be a foolish question, but do you know where Lavinia has gone?
Is she not in her room?
No.
Then I don't know where she is. Perhaps she went out to have an ice?
She must have gone out somewhere, but she didn't tell me where she was going. I feel like in the past weeks she's spoken more to Tybalt than to me. She's obsessed with that cat. She's even taking it into her room to sleep with. I'm supposed to be her best friend, and she won't sleep with me anymore. Jessie looked down, hugging her arms around herself.
Sometimes when you're feeling sad, it's easier to talk to someone who can't talk back. Someone who'll just listen.
She looked over at the doll displayed in pride of place.
Emily is a very good listener.
You think Lavinia has troubles she isn't telling me about?
I don't know. You know her better than I do.
I would turn myself into a cat if I could, if that would make her happy.
It doesn't usually go well in stories when a princess is turned into a cat. That means she's under a curse.
Oh, I'm no princess.
You could be if you wanted to. Anyone can be a princess if they're willing to work hard at it.
That's only pretend.
I think princesses who live in castles are kind of pretend too. Because we pretend that they're different than we are because of where they were born.
You are a queer sort of girl sometimes, Sarah Crew. Maybe you're the one who was born different. Oh no, a queer girl? In this lesbian dating simulator?
Uh-huh.
Well, we have the patience and grace to play with Becky.
Excellent. Just have to remember we need patience, grace, and
Belief. Sarah picked up her doll and smiled at her.
you're looking a trifle tired today, Emily. You must have been very busy while I was out of the room.
She gave the doll's curls a careful brushing, then tucked her into her own little cradle bed, arranging her hands to lie over the fabric cover.
I think you'll feel better after a nap. I'm hoping that Becky will come to visit today, but we'll try to be quiet so that we don't disturb you.
With the air of an expectant hostess, Sarah moved around the room, running her hands over shelves and turning cushions to be just so. The room was already perfectly neat. Of course, Sarah was not an untidy child by nature, and anything she might have disarranged since Becky's last visit would have been set straight by Mariette. Still, it seemed the sort of thing a princess ought to do.
Looking your best shows that you care about your visitors.
Having reassured herself that everything was just so, she settled in at her desk with a sheet of sums to work for the classrooms.
£2, 12 shillings, 8 1/4 pence, plus £1, 14 shillings, 5 1/4 pence. That's 2 farthings, 8 and 5 pence. Makes 1 shilling and 1 penny.
Addition and subtraction were simple tasks, but the complications of British currency were such that they needed to be practiced over and over again to be certain one did not forget. Becky's arrival was even more delightful when it meant putting those repetitive worksheets away.
Becky! Come in, please sit down.
She lowered her voice to a conspiratorial whisper.
Emily is resting today, so must be calm and quiet for her sake.
That's all right, miss. I'm tired today, too.
I made a wonderful discovery to share with you. I was out at the shops looking windows for things that might fit neatly into your pocket and not fall into crumbs. Look!
With a proud smile, she produced a tray of 3 little meat pies sealed up tight with glazed crusts. Becky's eyes quite sparkled. Oh, miss. Them'll be nice and filling. It's fillingness that's best. Sponge cake's a heavenly thing, but it melts away, like, if you understand, miss. These'll just stay in your stomach.
I don't believe it would be a good thing if a pie stayed in your stomach for always.
That line of thinking led somewhere indelicate, so she quickly abandoned it.
I do hope they will be satisfying. I wish you had told me before about the cake. I could have brought it something else before this. Beef sandwiches, perhaps? Or rolls and bologna sausage?
All that for me, miss.
Of course, why not? I like to share food with you. I'd like to see you enjoy yourself. None of the girls here ever enjoy cook's meals half so much. But I might never have guessed you wanted something other than cake. Why didn't you tell me?
Oh, please, miss, no one's ever been so kind to me before, not even me own mum. How could I ask you for more? How could I?
Were you afraid that if you asked me for something and I said no, that I would be angry with you?
Yes, no, miss, but you've done so many nice things for me, and if still I weren't happy, that'd be right sour me, you see? You wouldn't want somebody sour.
Oh, Becky, you were never sour, not one bit. But we are friends, you and I.
Friends, miss.
Of course we are. And a friend isn't upset when a friend asks her for something, even if she might have to say no. I could have done this for you sooner if you hadn't kept it a secret you wanted. Let's promise never to keep secrets from each other ever again.
She held out her hand to seal the pact. Becky started to reach for it, then hesitated. Never at all, miss. What if there were some secrets that are nice? Like surprises?
Oh, I didn't think of that. You're very clever.
Becky smiled in nervous agreement.
I will make a better promise then. Let's promise to always trust each other if we need help, alright?
All right. They clasped hands. The scullery maid's palm was rough and calloused, but her fingers curled sweetly around Sarah's.
Good. The pact has been formed.
The sound of angry voices drew Sarah into the hall. You've been touching my things, haven't you? No, miss, I hadn't. Didn't you clean my rooms? Yes, miss. Then you touched my belongings, didn't you? No, please, your pardon, miss. I didn't.
Let her be.
Sarah found herself feeling quite cross with Lavinia. Lavinia's moods had not been mercurial for some time, but to take them out on Becky, who could not defend herself, it was too much.
Of course she's been in your rooms with them, and she may have moved dusted. That's not doing anything wrong, and you've no reason to scold her.
No reason if she moves my books that I cannot find them, and knocks items off my tables, and puts her filthy fingers on my underclothes. The impertinence of it, as if she had any right to handle a young lady's possessions. Please, miss, I'm sorry. Hey, I'm sure some of those things were probably the cat. You want to bet?
Yeah.
At least some of them, possibly all of them. But Lavinia's eyes were on Sarah now. Perhaps you're the reason she can't keep her hands to herself. Don't think I haven't noticed.
Noticed what?
That girl spending extra time in your rooms. What have you been teaching her in there, hidden away? Telling stories again? What would Miss Minchin think of that?
I have given Becky extra duties.
It wasn't entirely a falsehood, Sarah told herself. She had requested that Becky stay and speak with her, and a request from a student was something like a duty for a servant.
If you told Miss Minchin, you would wonder why you were interfering.
You already have a personal maid. Is every servant in the school meant to be at your beck and call?
There are many things I need done. It is none of your concern.
You think you're very special, don't you? You might have a surprise coming for you yet. Lavinia rolled about, passing through the door to her room and slamming it behind her with much force. Oh, miss, I didn't mean to cause...
You didn't cause anything, Becky. Whatever's wrong with Lavinia, it isn't your fault. Alright, so...
So, we see that we want the clocks, we want the crosses, but we also want angels. I don't know if we need 10 grace.
We do know we want to try to get belief up to full at some point. So we should have at least one writing diary.
Yes. I think one writing diary, maybe 2 practice dances.
Actually, you know what? Maybe writing diary at least twice, because patience is the clock, right?
Yes. So 3 writing diaries and 2 practice dance. Practice dance first. And then we start writing a diary, and we reset if we don't get at least 3 graces with this.
Yes. Okay, definitely save. Okay, good, good.
Alright,
And now
so
we want
do want...
bottom option at least once, and that actually covers everything.
We will want... we can't use this to maximize patience.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we could use this to maximize patience. Oh, patience is maximized. We already got the...
Yeah, because we got 1 from the very first one.
Oh, right. Where is that girl? Where is she?
Lavinia, what are you doing?
Where's your little pet, Sarah? Look what she's done now. Lavinia held up a pair of shredded stockings. Ruined, completely ruined, and she did it out of spite. Where is that girl? She ought to be whipped. I'll have her. You will not. What did you say? You've been letting Tybalt sleep in your rooms. He got at your stockings, not Becky. That's claw-marked. And you can't blame him either, because he's just a cat, and that's what cats do. You stupid fat-faced fool! Girls! Lavinia's enraged tones had attracted extra attention. Lavinia, I am surprised at you, shrieking and carrying on like a fishwife. What a way to behave. You ought to follow Sarah's example. Sarah is always a model student. You can learn a great deal from her. Lavinia's head jerked as if she had been struck a blow. The ruined stockings drifted, forgotten from her numb hands. Yes, Miss Minchin.
Ooh. Huh.
We have 3 weeks, and the only person that we can play with is Lottie. So do we just do a few Lottie events?
Nah, we decided before to just skip the ones where we... So, oh my god, so yeah, we don't have anything to do until week 22. Which also means what we choose to do, like, during... You know what, maybe we should do Lottie, the Lottie events, just because... I mean... They're there, we almost might as well. Obviously, like, when we have the choices, we're always going to choose, you know, Mariette, Becky, and Jessie. But just may as well get it done. Yeah.
Might as well just see. Sarah was seated comfortably in the classroom, gazing at the window and thinking. It was not that the seat itself was so comfortable. The long form benches of the schoolroom were chosen for function and ease of use, not for gently cushioning the tender bottoms of schoolgirls. Sarah's own cozy little parlor contained far more comfortable places to sit than the classroom or even the dining room at Miss Minchin's. You're supposed to do this event near the beginning of the game.
Yes.
However, sometimes the change of scenery was more conductive to clear thinking. There was something interesting about being in a classroom when all the other students had gone.
Is there still a classroom? There is no class inside it. Well, of course it has class.
You're there. And yet, it was not long before someone else did enter that room. Someone who stood at the corner of Sarah's vision, unwilling to speak and interrupt, but nearly bouncing on her toes from excitement.
Lottie?
After looking outside and letting her mind wander for so long, Sarah's eyes seemed to view everything in the wrong colors, and Lottie's round face was overlaid with pinks and greens. She blinked a few times to clear her vision. Lottie clapped her hands together, taking this as permission to speak. May we go and see the doll, Emily, now? And have tea?
All right.
Sarah led the way up the stairs, motioning Lottie behind her to stay quiet.
You must be careful not to disturb her.
Disturb who?
Very lucky, you might see.
The door to Sarah's room stood in front of them. Sarah placed a finger over her own lips and then to Lottie's. Only after Lottie nodded did she reach for the door, and Sarah suddenly turned the handle and threw it wide open. Its opening revealed the room quite neat and quiet, a fire gently burning in the grate, and a wonderful doll sitting in a chair by it, apparently reading a book.
Oh, she got back to her seat before we could see her. Of course, they always do. They are quick as lightning.
Lottie looked from Sarah to the doll and back again. Can she walk?
Yes, at least I believe. I believe dolls can do things they will not let us know about. Perhaps really Emily can read and talk and walk, but she will only do it when people are out of the room. That is her secret. You see, if people knew that dolls could do things, they would make them work. So perhaps they have promised each other to keep it a secret. You stay in the room, Emily. Emily will just sit there and stare. But if you go out, she'll begin to read, perhaps. Go and look out of the window. Then, if she heard either of us coming, she would just run back and jump into her chair and pretend she had been there all the time.
Lottie's eyes were magnified enormously as she took in this bewitching new concept. It was a delightful thought. However, Lottie was one of the youngest students at Miss Minchin's seminary, and as such had experience in being told things by older girls that might not be entirely true. Sarah, does she really walk? Do you truly believe it?
I pretend that I can, and that makes it seem as if it were true.
So it's not true.
When you suppose things, when you pretend them with great vigor, that makes them almost real. If you imagine for yourself that there are fairies in the London sky, if you stare up into the sky, think about fairies, and it's very hard for them. You might almost catch a glimpse of one. And you're not sure what you saw. Was it real or wasn't it? Were you pretending? Was it a dream or a vision? Did you actually see anything at all? You know that you are pretending, so it is not so terrible if you didn't see anything. But maybe, just maybe, you were right all along. Sometimes stories do come true. Do you understand?
I think so.
Would you like to hold Emily?
Oh, may I? May I really? She is beautiful. And Emily was put into her arms. Lottie smiled down at the doll, cradling her gently and fingering her fair curls. They must move very fast to get out of sight when we come in, mustn't they? I wonder if we could learn to move like lightning.
Oh, we couldn't do it. You see, it's a kind of magic.
Maybe people can have magic too.
That is nice to pretend. But whether we can have magic or not, we can certainly have tea.
As little Lottie walked past the classroom, which should by any rights be empty at such a time, she heard a most curious sound. Eh? The noise was faint enough that most ears might have overlooked it, but even in its quietness it was a sound with which Lottie was intimately familiar. It was the sound of a girl crying. And so it was that Lottie, who had never before been known for her sympathy, padded into the classroom and found, sitting on the floor with her arms hugging her knees and her eyes streaming with tears, Lavinia Herbert. What's the matter? Go away. Lottie herself enjoyed being fussed over far too much to imagine that anyone else might truly mean it when she demanded to be left alone. Lottie came closer and laid her plump little hand on Lavinia's shoulder, petting the older girl as teachers had petted her. Aw, it's cute. There. Don't touch me. She lashed out, arm and elbow striking the smaller child full force and knocking her away. Ah! Caught off balance, Lottie twisted and fell hard upon her knee, skidding slightly on the floor as she landed. Ah! Lavinia's tears had been quiet. Lottie's were anything but. Sarah was, at that time, in another room entirely, curled up in a window seat and enjoying a recently acquired book. Between one word and another, her concentration was disrupted by the sound of distant howling. For all the stories she told of heaven, Sarah would be the first to admit that she herself was not an angel. She felt obligated to leave her book and look after her adopted child, but she was not pleased about it. Thus, when she stomped into the classroom and found Lottie on the ground nursing her reddened knee, and Lavinia standing over her, Sarah herself felt quite snappish and unreasonable. Stop this minute, you crybaby! Stop this minute! I'm not a crybaby, I'm not! You are! You nasty little spoiled thing! I should like to slap you! Sarah! Sarah rolled on Lavinia, who appeared to be the root cause of the disruption of her reading, and whose face was now quite dry.
Well, I should like to slap you!
Immediately ashamed, she struggled to restrain herself.
But I don't want to slap you. No, I do want to slap you. I should like to slap you, but I won't because we are not little gutter children. We are both old enough to know better.
Oh, yes, your royal highness. We are princesses, I believe. At least one of us is. It stung. It stung more bitterly than either of them could have expected. For Sarah to hear her beloved fancy mocked in such a tone, she felt the blood rush up into her face and tingle in her ears. But she stopped herself. A princess did not fly into rages.
True, sometimes I do pretend I am a princess. I pretend I am a princess so I can try and behave like one.
Dear me, how grand! I hope when you ascend to the throne that you won't forget us.
I won't.
You think you're the only one who's special? You're wrong. Just you wait, Sarah Crew. You'll see. Lavinia left the room, her neck stiff, her head high. Sarah, Mama, she... Hush, hush. Sorry.
Hush, hush, Lot. It's all right. Never mind. Come and sit in the window seat with me, and I'll whisper a story to you.
Will you? Will you tell me about the diamond mines again?
Of course.
So something's going on with Lavinia.
Yes. And it really makes me wonder if this would happen if we had actually paid her.
Yeah. I think some things have actually happened, right? Because we're with the scullery maid. Some differences have happened, right?
Yeah. Alright, so we need 5 belief, so let's just do a save. Yep. Reload if we don't get 5 belief.
That looks like 5 belief.
Cool.
I'm just waiting for like a weekly event to say it's like, yeah, no, you need 11 of a stat.
Remember to actually save this time.
Save this time for what?
No.
Mademoiselle, There is a letter for you.
Oh, a letter from Papa. Does not seem so long at all since his last letter. A longer wait might make me feel quite lonely and neglected, or risk him fading from my thoughts. This is just right. I wonder if he has explored the diamond caves. My dear little Mrs.
This letter did not seem to be written in such boyish high spirits as usual. He was not very well and was evidently overweighted by the business connected with the diamond mines.
You see, little Sarah, your daddy is not a businessman at all. Figures and documents bother him. He does not really understand them, and all this seems so enormous. It gives me a splitting headache even to consider these matters. Perhaps I am the one who should be away at school again, learning how to manage things. Ah, and if I was not feverish, I should not be awake for one half of each night, tossing about and spending the other half in troublesome dreams. If my little missus were here, I dare say she would give me some solemn, good advice and put my mind at ease. What wouldn't I give to have your little arms around my neck this minute? God grant that these matters be soon resolved. Grant me leave to return to England for a visit. Visit? Oh, Mariette, my papa may be coming for a visit.
Be sure, mademoiselle, it is a long way to travel. I do not wish you to be disappointed.
Well, he doesn't promise that he can. He does say that he would like to.
She read a little further along.
He's also asking about what I want for my birthday. Wouldn't it be lovely if my papa were here for my birthday?
Oui, Monsieur can pardon me. I'm sorry.
I know, I mustn't fasten my hopes on it, but it is a beautiful thing to believe.
She looked down at the letter and smiled.
Papa is asking if a doll will be an acceptable present. I told him I didn't want a lot of dolls, but he says a special doll might be a companion for Emily while I'm busy with classes.
Is Emily going to get her own little doll? With her own little crib at the foot of Emily's crib? And when Emily is out of the room, Emily's doll goes on adventures. That is a pretty thought.
Yes, she must be a very special doll. You see, I am getting very old, and by the time of my next birthday, I do not think I should be given dolls anymore. This will be my last doll. There's something solemn about that, don't you think?
Of course, mademoiselle.
If I could write poetry, I'm sure a poem about a last doll would be very nice.
Sure you can write poetry.
But I cannot write poetry. I have tried, and it made me laugh. It did not sound like Watts or Coleridge or Shakespeare at all.
Neither did they when they first tried. Perhaps when you are completely too old for dolls, will have more of a talent for poetry in exchange.
Do you think it could work that way? I never know how I will change, even though I am different every day.
Every day we learn some more. Sarah set the letter aside and knelt to address Emily.
I should respect the last doll very much, but nothing could ever take your place. I hope you do not become jealous of each other. You're very good friends.
I am sure they will.
Ooh.
So I guess that's the question. Do we want to spend 11 points on Lottie? Or should we skip it and skip next week? I think we can do Lottie's event here and take 2 weeks to bring it back up.
Okay.
Sarah's room was a bright little jewel in the sometimes drab nest that was Miss Mitchen's select seminary. It remained a bright jewel even when Sarah was not inside it, which could be seen now by the small figure that crept in through the opened door. Lottie closed the door behind her, then climbed up onto Sarah's bed. She placed her legs just a little bit apart and carefully patted down her skirt to ensure that the petticoats were shown exactly as much and as little as intended. I'm a dolly. Then she laid her arms at her side, tilted back her head, and waited. A minute later, Sarah and her maid Mariette entered the room.
Flower that looks the same upside down as it does right side up. But I can't think of...
Her voice paused briefly as she came into the room, and Lottie knew she must have been noticed. Quickly, she closed her eyes. She would never be able to keep a straight face if she looked at Sarah. After that moment, Sarah continued.
My goodness, Emily must have been busy today. I think she was in such a hurry to get back to her seat when we came in that she didn't quite reach the same position.
I see, mademoiselle.
Will you tell us what you have been up to, Emily? No? You are very good at keeping secrets. I think we ought to change her clothes and get her ready for bed. She must be very tired.
And do not forget the new doll. Lottie fought not to giggle, imagining Sarah picking her up next and changing her clothes like a doll. But she had to keep her eyes shut, or she would spoil the joke.
Oh, I'm sure she'll be fine. Dolls have to know how to be still for very long periods of time. A doll in a shop window where everyone can see her must stand for hours and hours without even blinking.
I would not like to try it, standing so long.
Here, take Emily's shoes and put them away safely. It would be terrible if she lost them. She needs to be able to run quickly.
Yes, mademoiselle. Lottie began to realize that no one intended to pay any attention to her. Sarah and Mariette continued to fuss over Emily, adjusting her nightgown and her pillows. The new doll was utterly neglected. Lottie couldn't help herself any longer. She whined.
What was that? Oh, Lottie, when did you come in? I thought you were a doll.
I don't want to be a doll. Being a doll is boring.
Well, I think it's interesting enough for a doll to be a doll. It's not so much fun for a girl to be one. Don't you think, Mariette?
As you say, mademoiselle. Let's stay together now, girls. Keep in line. It was Sunday, and the girls of Miss Minchin's Select Seminary walked together on their way back from services. The air was warm, and the foggy veil of London thin enough for sunlight to pass through. It seemed a day designed to inspire rest and relaxation. In that indolent atmosphere, only Sarah heard the fruitless cough of the beggar child. She could not have said whether it was the same child as before, nor did she take the time to consider the likelihood of such. She moved without thinking, her coin purse in hand.
Here is a sixpence. Go and buy yourself some fruit and something to drink.
After passing on her bounty, Sarah returned to the formation of schoolgirls, fully expecting to be scolded by Miss Minchin. Such was not to be. Did you all see that, girls? Sarah has given you a very fine example of Christian generosity and kindness. We all know the importance of these virtues, but we often find it difficult to put them into practice in our daily lives. That's our Sarah. Yes, our marvelous little princess.
How strange. Have I changed so much in the months that I have been here? Or is Miss Minchin? Or could it be that we are both exactly as we always were, and something else has changed instead? So Grace is what again?
Angel.
So we need Angel and Cross.
Yes.
The important one to get is definitely the Cross. But what gives the most Angel? Yeah, that's probably the best way to go about it.
So we want the 5 belief.
Yes. So we need to make sure we get 5 belief Cross. The first, yes. Yep, okay. Anything but that one. Anything but that one.
Okay, that works.
Good, Sarah. Nope. Okay.
Save's coming so much.
Now we're not, filling this one up no matter what.
No.
But okay, perfect.
Thank you for having me to tea, Sarah.
You know you're always welcome.
Yes, but I still appreciate it. I love doing a voice with like a twang. I don't know what it is, it's just so much fun. I don't think I should stop thanking you when you do nice things just because you've done them before and I've thanked you before.
You are very sweet.
Sarah looked down at her tea. The sugar had already completely dissolved into the hot water. Its sweetness was not something that could be seen.
Ermengarde, do you know why Miss Minchin treats me differently?
She does?
I feel that she praises me every day, whether it's for being quick to finish my lessons, or something so small as having an amiable smile.
But you have a lovely smile, and you are very clever at your books. More than anyone, everything she says is true.
I must believe that if you say it is so, but I don't feel that I am any more clever than I was some months ago. I do not think she liked me so much then.
Maybe it took Miss Minchin a while to realize just how wonderful you are. Some people aren't as quick at understanding things as you. Sarah sighed to herself and took a sip of her tea.
A lot of nice accidents have happened to me. It just happened that I always liked lessons and books, could remember things when I learned them. It just happened that I was born with a father who was beautiful and nice and clever, give me everything I liked. Perhaps I've not really a good temper at all. If you have everything you want and everyone is kind to you, how can you help but be good-tempered? I don't know how I shall ever find out whether I am really a nice child or a horrid one.
I mean, no, she had that instant with Lavinia and Lottie recently, where she was able to, keep her temper. So that's something.
Perhaps I'm a hideous child and no one will ever know, just because I never have any trials.
Lavinia has no trials and she is horrid enough. Sarah rubbed the end of her little nose reflectively as she thought the matter over.
Well, perhaps that is because Lavinia is growing.
Aren't we all growing?
Lavinia is one of the eldest. I've heard it said that that age makes girls especially disagreeable, though I don't know why.
What age, 13?
I hope that I don't have to become all angry all the time only because of growing older.
Oh, I'm certain that you won't.
You're a kind friend. I apologize for not spending more time with you.
Next time, though, next time. Alright, so
So-
next week we can spend time with Jessie. We really need patience and sympathy for Lottie. And
The only thing we need to worry about this week is Grace.
so we could spend time with Lottie and still definitely have enough stuff to spend time with Jessie next week.
Honestly, I think I would still choose to just skip.
You want to just skip it?
Yeah.
Alrighty. New week. Now, Lottie, hold on to my hands. Will you pick me up? And not like that, your wrists are not strong enough. Hold my hands like so. Now pick one foot up off the ground and stretch it out behind you. I feel all wobbly. That's why I'm holding on to you. Press on my hands and try not to lean forward as you stretch. This feels strange. What did she do? Why did she move? Sarah came into the room to find Jessie and Lottie engaged in some manner of dance practice.
Oh, Lottie, I can see your petticoats.
Sarah, Mama! She let go of Jessie and rushed over to Sarah to demand a hug. Will you play with us?
Play? I thought you were dancing.
We won't exactly. I had an idea and wanted to see if she could do it. But I'd be happy to dance with you, Sarah, if you would like it.
Where's Lavinia? I would have expected her to be with you.
Lavinia has not been herself lately. She sighed, twisting up her beautiful long hair and then letting it fall again. Oh, Sarah, it's been so difficult. I've always admired Lavinia so very much, but now... Admired? Quite unexpectedly, Lavinia swept into the room. Jessie's eyes went wide, her hands flying uselessly to cover her mouth. Yes, you admired me, didn't you? Only now there's a little diamond girl for you to admire, isn't there? You're nothing but a useless sycophant, Jessie Abbott! Is that why everyone's being so nice to her? Because I heard about the diamond mine and want some of the money? Yes, I know what that word means. I know a lot of things that nobody else does. Not even your precious Princess Sarah. With a haughty tilt of her chin, she strode away. Jessie's eyes darted frantically back and forth, her cheeks taking on a lilac hue. Then, without a word, she crumpled the fabric of her skirt in her hands and hurried after Lavinia. Sarah, Mama? What's a sycophant?
A sycophant is, someone who flatters an important person that they don't really like.
Why?
I don't know. So I feel like if we just write in the diary every day, we could probably get 2 grace. We should still probably save on the off chance, but
No, we good.
never mind.
Writing the diary doesn't give grace.
Where? Oh dear. This is why I wanted us to save for... Oh, you did. Oh, you save stated.
No, I didn't. You can just hit L and go back.
Oh. Okay. Well then.
My dear Sarah, how good it is to see you today.
Thank you.
As you know, your birthday will be upon us in only 2 short weeks.
Yes.
I am planning a grand celebration for you. We will decorate the entire schoolroom and have a little party with activities for all the students. Oh, well, there's activities for everyone. That sounds like a nice thing. Then you will open your gifts with great ceremony, and after they have been seen and admired, you will proceed to a glittering feast where I'll arrange some unusual treats. Is there anything particular that you would like for your special day, Sarah?
Will my papa be there?
What was that?
Oh, I only hoped. He had written me that he would like to be present for my birthday, and I hoped that you might have had word.
I'm sorry. If Captain Crew has made such plans, he has not informed me. I was told only to have your gifts made ready for you.
Oh.
Now, do not lose hope, my dear. Messages travel so slowly when the ocean is involved. It is always possible that ships are in motion even as we speak. However, even if your father is unable to attend the festivities, I hope you will have a simply marvelous time and write to him all about it.
Yes, miss. Thank you.
Well, my dear, if you have no other special requests, then you may wish to return to your friends. There is another gentleman I need to speak with.
Thank you. Good day.
Upon leaving Miss Minchin's office, Sarah briefly crossed the path of a sharp-featured, dry little gentleman who wore a neatly tailored suit and eyeglasses. Good day. He nodded at her, quite as if he already knew her name and saw no need for the two of them to be introduced once again.
Good day.
Something about his manner seemed mildly unsettling to Sarah, but as he soon vanished into Miss Minchin's office, never to be seen again, she quite forgot all about him. I'm sorry, what's in the food? What's in the unusual meals that she promised? Never to be seen again?
Okay.
Out of sight, Miss Minchin greeted her visitor. Ah, Mr. Barrow, here are the next set of bills for Miss Crew's celebrations. I have it on authority that the Parisian doll is nearly complete and will be delivered next week. The strange gentleman took the papers she handed him and regarded them with a sniff. You do not think this a trifle extravagant for such a young girl's birthday? Captain Crewe expected the very best for his daughter. I don't see how it is your place to judge. He ordered that your firm would pay all expenses, did he not? Yes. You are very fond of the girl, then? She is my most important pupil. I see. Very well, I shall take these and add them to the receipts for disbursement when the next payments arrive. Good day to you, Miss Minchin. And that is where we'll be ending this episode. There is some drama going on, so it would seem. So, not everything is quite as it seems.
Yeah, I have a theory, but I don't know if I want to voice it yet.
Oh, you don't want to voice it in case it's true?
Yeah, I don't want to voice it, on recording yet, so.
Okay. Yeah, I have multiple theories about what might be going on here.
Yeah.
Why suddenly, Miss Minchin is so friendly towards Sarah. And all of that. And perhaps Lavinia knows something about what's going on. Perhaps Lavinia was sad because of that reason. But I'm sure we'll find out some of the information next week. I mean, we have to be at least halfway through the game by now, right? How many weeks is school?
I mean, here's the thing. I'm very concerned about the fact that it says for Mariette, Act 1 events.
So I feel like a school year might be split into two halves. So it'd be Act 1, Act 2. So we have to wait until the halfway point. So if a year is 52 weeks, summer is 8 weeks? So that would be 44 weeks in total. So this would then be the end of Act 1. But it's weird that it then would say that Act 1 events complete, but Becky, we have to wait until week 23, which would mean that the Act 1 events for her would also be complete. So maybe this isn't the end of Act 1. Heck, maybe week 23 is the last week of Act 1. I don't know. And perhaps next week we'll find out. But until then, remember to be a princess.